Hello and welcome to episode 114 of the Spare Change Challenge on Ignition Poker today. As usual. So, just getting started maybe about 10 minutes ago. Action's been so crazy I haven't even had a chance to even start the stream. I think I've doubled up once. If I remember correctly, first hand I sat down at a three-handed game. HUD's not working here, so I'm going to find a new table. I guess go ahead and refresh this one too, since the same thing happened. And then I lagged out one hand. And I just called a big raise, like multi-four-way. Wasn't that big. I had the right price, obviously. I had a small suited connector, and I would have flopped a straight, but the ignition lagged me out. Yeah, it sucked. About an hour ago, I was playing another session, and I had aces on the button against the guy that was on tilt in the big blind. He 3x's. He makes it 12, so obviously he's thirding it, committing, and the ignition just folds my aces on the button in that spot too. So that's getting pretty frustrating, and it's cost me quite a bit of money. I would have, and there was like overpair versus set in that straight, and it ran out clean. I would have tripled up there, and I would have lost. I would have had an 80-20, obviously, the other one. So I think it's cost me like $100 just to lag on ignition today. I don't mind losing on my own, but I mean, not that I really lost money in those hands, but certainly didn't gain the money I was supposed to, the EV money anyway. Well, the actual money in the straight hand, right? We'll have to watch that, and I'm pretty sure I know that ignition will just tell me it's on my end, which it definitely is not, because I'm not having any lag issues. I'm doing anything else, just on ignition. And it's really weird. It's not like the usual thing where it reconnects you. It's just like I freeze, and then like, brrr, like 50, like 3 hands will just fly by, you know. Like over 5 seconds, it'll just play the last 2 hands all the way through. All the action will just go by in like high speed motion or whatever. Probably could have called there with this fish in the blinds, but talking too much. But otherwise, besides that, I'm pleased to announce that I ran really good last night, and really, really good in the last session. Take the aces hand away, it didn't matter. I won 8 of 11 all-ins just today in that 1 hour session. And yesterday, I won my first 9 all-ins for the session, and I was actually flipping for 10 all-ins. Actually, I had kings versus ace-10 suited for 10 straight all-ins, which I don't think I've ever won in a row. Unless I just didn't count at that time. But I'm pretty sure once I get to about 5, I'm going to start counting every time. And he flopped, I don't remember whether he flopped or turned the ace. I don't think it was a river, but I mean, I'll still take 9 out of 10 because I did win like every flip. I had like 3 or 4 flips that I won too. I had overpair versus underpair a couple times of that too. But I ended up winning 16 of 19 all-ins last night in 2 hours. That's pretty sick, right? So today, you include the all-in I just won a little bit ago. Oh, that guy had called me on the first all-in. On my first hand, I had King Queen offsuit, and he made it 5x on the button, and it was a game that had just started. I'm like, okay, he's just trying to take the blinds and then leave the table. That's what it looked like. So I shoved my King Queen. He snapped me. I mean, it was almost quicker than a snap. It was almost like a bot call with 8-6 suited, and he actually was open-ended on the turn, but I held. So, I mean, I ran really good, obviously. I'm running really good. I'm winning some flips. But I did lose. I flopped a set of 9s on an ace-queen-9 board versus ace-10, and I somehow lost that hand. It went turn ace, river 10 to give him runner, runner. I had 97% equity on the flop. But, yeah, I mean, shit happens, right? It's going to happen. I can't win them all. But I am kind of getting greedy now that I'm running good. I just kind of want to keep running it up. I don't want to lose all-ins. I want to win everything. I'm just kind of getting used to winning now over the last 5 hours of my sessions or whatever. I want to keep that momentum going through the rest of the month. Pretty awesome to run good for a change. Bet fold. I know that it's very likely or extremely possible somebody probably has me beat now. I still think it's a raise. I think they'll play pretty honest. I think non-flushes will fold or might get called by a queen or a jack. Or maybe, I don't know. 9-10 might call again. That is an interesting freaking river. My hand is almost too strong to bet and almost too strong to check call. Man, I hate to bet fold two pair because what if he has jack 7 and raises here? Maybe I'll bet small to induce. He was folding anyway. And maybe I could get a call from a jack for another barrel too. I wasn't folding though. If I'm betting $2, I'm calling it off. That's one of those spots where it's like, can't really bet fold. I'm too strong to bet fold, but I can't really check call. I think the alternative is just to bet small to maybe keep more of his range and then induce something from maybe like ace something with the ace of clubs that he called the turn and now he turned his hand into a bluff, that type of thing. I could definitely shove this with the 993-0, but this guy crapping here, right? Crapping the 93-0. We'll be a little bit cautious here. But definitely happy to say that I'm running better. At least lately. So what else is there to report? Nothing, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty surreal last night. I went a full hour without getting stacked and won 9 straight all-ins, which is pretty damn sick. I mean, I go an hour without having 2 all-ins. So to have 9 and win them all in 1 hour is pretty damn amazing. So I'm pretty sure I'm swinging up. I'm guessing I'm at least on a... Because I did run decent, even though I ran bad on... Was it yesterday, Wednesday? Even though I ran bad Wednesday in the stream, I'm pretty sure I ran pretty good for the last 20 minutes of that stream. Got a little bit of my losses back. I think going into the nighttime session, I was already swinging up and then have 9 straight all-ins, so I just want to venture a guess that I'm on an 18 buy-in upswing right now. It could be 15, could be 22, just depends on how I did in the smaller pots, right? That would just be a guess, right? It's a really good turn card. We're just, well, kind of an interesting river. Thing that really got there was a gut shot 8-9. Is he not the type of player that will just put it in? Should have bet the turn, right? To not have to call this river. This guy's really passive, so what could he be doing this with a spade? Isn't he the type of player that just puts it in with a jack, right? Or is he also the type of player that might not realize that he's not supposed to slow play in that spot? I think I'm just getting too good of a price here. I'm going to have to pay him off. Okay, so yeah, the ace king and he's just horrible. Okay. That's a good result, obviously, to win that one. A lot of players would fold there, I think. Definitely. Right, so we get a good situation on the bottom left over here. We hold. Continuing to win. So that's 3 stacks I've gained in this session so far. 3-0. You want to keep track, I'm 3-0 in this session, and I guess before that I was something like 21 of 27, so that would put me 24... Get off this table. I think. Yeah, I don't know, 24 of 32 or something like that in all ends. Just strictly all ends. That doesn't really mean everything, but it is kind of important. You can't really win money without winning your flips and things like that, or at least getting your share of equity. So, is this the same table? Maybe not. This guy wasn't full, I don't think. No reason to stay on this table, I don't think. Call. King 10, King 10. Ace 10, okay. At least I'm flipping, right? We got outs. Well, not anymore. Oh ho! We run good! That's 4 in a row, baby. 4 in a row. 4 in a freaking row. I did get it in with Jack 7 versus 8 6, and he had an 8 and I had 2 pair, and he rivered an 8. He had to catch an 8 on the river. Here we go with aces here. It's fun to run good, isn't it? Sucks to run bad, but it's fun to run good. Okay. Oh. Oh. Almost 5 in a row to start. Almost. Alright, I guess that, well, it doesn't really make up for this, but I'd rather win this one and lose that one than lose this one and lose this one, so. Damn. Can't win with 90% equity on the flop. That's kind of the way it's gone today, is I'm winning the flips and the ones I'm not really supposed to win, like the low equity ones, and I'm losing like those type of spots. So I actually kind of like that, right? At least I'm not losing everything, which is not the case. So the times I have lost, I've had like 80 to 100%, 80 to 98% equity. I'm not exaggerating. I lost one with 98% equity. Night. So yeah, we're just gonna keep going here. That would have been sweet though. That one. Wow. So close to 5 in a row. We'll take 4 out of 5 to start here. We take it. He just 5-bet oh. 5-bet shoves with 8s in that spot. He's just 4-bet shoves, I'm sorry. 4-bet shoves in that spot with 8s. Damn, I love it. I love it when people make bad plays. Can't profit though. I mean, when he does that, he's basically hoping I have ace queen or ace, right? Unless he thinks I'm a complete maniac, which is possible. He thinks I'm a maniac. That's a good thing. It's a good image to have, right? There's some scenarios we could limp shove here. Picking up so many hands here. This connects way too well. I think I'm just going to try to get to showdown here. We're going to win this at showdown often enough. Wait, ace or queen is likely good anyway. Check it down. It's not likely we're going to get there, but I think it's better than betting versus 2 fish. On a 9-8 board, yeah, right. Good luck. Good luck getting that one through. This doesn't look like a good tables. It looks like the games are pretty good right now, so I want to take advantage of that if I can. Oh, I just left the wrong table. I didn't want to leave that table. Please let me get the same seat. That's the same or not? Because this was a 93 VPIP right here. Please let me know. Please tell me that's the same seat. I don't find out soon enough, I guess. But I thought I was leaving this one. Yeah. And it doesn't matter anyways. It wasn't even time for me to leave. I think this is a BS bet whenever I check here. So I think check calling 1 street is good. He'll probably shut down on a queen often enough. I think we're just good at showdown here most of the time. A good amount of time. Wow, what did he do? Rivers 7s? Really, he wouldn't just bluff here, right? That'd be a crazy spot to bluff. I mean, it's just completely unnecessary. I mean, I've seen people do bad plays like this, but I think, yeah, if I didn't think he wouldn't be able to turn a deuce into a bluff, I would probably just call here, but no, I'm not going to call. Okay. I think there's better spots. Obviously, on this dynamic of a board, we're bet deciding here. Like, if this guy bets and this guy raises, we probably can get away from our jacks here. But if this guy calls or folds, I think we can just shove. Plays very easy to do that. This just smashes a couple ranges, so could be behind here sometimes, but definitely there's tons of hands that we'll call that we're beating too. Like that one. Definitely a good example of one that we're beating. Take that. Okay, so we're 5 of 6 in all ins now. That's good. We knew this run good session, this run good period was coming, right? I don't see no reason for it to end. Let's just keep it going here. I feel like we're gonna win every hand. I know that can cause a little bit of negative tilt. Stab, I dare you. Stab. Come on, stab. Come on. You might be ahead, but you're probably not if you stab. Stab and fold worse. Fold better, I mean. That's the beauty of this. Stab. Come on, player 1. You have a 4? Is that why you're taking so long? Or you just lagged like I was earlier? Protect. Apparently he's not sitting out because he didn't instant fold there. Getting raised. Win it. Seeing any fish on this table, am I? Where was our whale table? Was it this one? Must have been this one, right? Because this guy's hadn't played a pot in 4 hands. Maybe we didn't get back on the right table. That sucks. Okay, well. I'll find another table here, hopefully. For this skanky table. Alright, you're gonna raise cutoff with 8s. Okay, well. 21 big blinds. 30 big blinds is 10s. 21 big blinds should be 9s. Okay. But it's close. I think it's plus EV though. It's kind of tight, but it's only 10 hands, so. Two, three, four, five. Definitely get it in versus Ace X here. We're gonna go ahead and bet. And we win another one here, so that's 6 of 7, right? See if how this table looks in a minute. See if any fish sit. I'm guessing this one isn't for sure. I'm not sure. All right, limp deuces. Actually, limp jack 10 and call me here. I want easy ones. I want easy ones. I don't want them to have any outs. Yeah, I think this is a different table, so. 32.95 stack sit right here, please. Come on. We'll wait one more revolution here and just see what happens. This table looks kind of bad. Call player 2. Call. I don't think these are necessarily... They might be bad regs, but they're probably... Good chance they're not. Those. Guy was probably playing heads up for a while. That's why he's got 139. I mean, this is a new table, so... Guessing he's not a fish if that's the case. Yeah, really nothing to be gleaned from that hand. Standard stuff. This guy's 75.63. I'm gonna limp here. Maybe we get raise, 3-bet, shove. Okay, I'm dreaming now, right? Well, at least we got the initial part of this code here done. Just get rid of it. So we don't timing tail, always run it down to about 26 here. Don't want to be too quick, don't want to take too long. Pretty much try to take that long on just about every hand we play. Makes things easier, right? We hold here again. So we are now 7 of 8 in all ends in this session alone. Yeah, that's, I don't know. We wouldn't mind getting that table back, but I think there's better ones. Probably gonna sit us up here. Oh, not yet. I bet here. Turn as a jack, right? Find another game. Let's just feel the jacks coming. 5 to 1. I can't call though, can we? We have blockers against like Jack 9. Could be a flush draw, but board's really good for my range for me to be c-betting. I'm a short, as a short stack, I wouldn't expect him to think he has much fold equity. Fold. I think we're gonna find another table here. Probably gonna sit us out anyway. Get away from that one. Wait, actually, this guy's 71-71, isn't he? 100% 3-bet? That's only over 1. I'm gonna take this seat back. We can. Oop! Shit. Dang it. Closed out. This will just do a complete free. Come on now, give me a seat. What the? Come on, Ignition. Can you go back to the old way of doing things? Now I don't even know if this is the right table. But I see limps, so I guess we're staying. Frustrating. I have no excuse to be frustrated though. Because I've won like 15 of 19 all-ins today and 16 of 19 yesterday. Probably on a $700 upswing right now, so I can't really complain. I basically made myself a new 100 ml bankroll in the last 2 days. Today and yesterday. That's what it feels like. You guys have been watching me. Those of you those of you that have been watching me since the beginning, and of course this month for sure, know I've seen the run bad. All the spots where I just shouldn't be losing and I'm losing, and just situationally not running good this month. You guys have experienced it, so this is what happens when you put in volume, though. You play through the bad times and you get to a run good period. It could be over now, or this could last another week. You know, we don't know. Obviously, we don't believe in run good, run bad. It's only a hindsight thing, right? Just so you guys are clear on that. It's not like I'm lucky today or anything, right? Only lucky when you look back. I have no idea what the next flip is going to be like, or the next 5 flips. I could lose all 5, right? So luck does not exist. Let's get that out of the way, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah. I wish luck was a real thing. Wouldn't that be cool? I think this is our maniac here, maybe. Wait. No. That back. This guy might be. It's only one. What is it? One hand? Never mind. I take that back. If he 3-bets to this one, there's a good chance of it, though, right? Well, how do you freaking do? This is such an easily dominated hand. Hate to call here. Yeah, see, I mean, we've run into this flop, and even though we have top pairs, like, we don't really love our hand. So we'd have to put it all in right here, and we wouldn't. Just don't want to do that, right? So many ways to lose this hand. Either be losing and crushed right now, or lose it by the river. Now that turn we could have dealt with, right? Assuming somebody doesn't have queen jack here, but we could live with that turn. But yeah, hindsight 2020, and we are running good, so maybe we should be calling everything, right? No. Still gonna make plus EV plays no matter how good we're running. Yeah, that would have been good river for us. Of course, we would have been all in already, so it wouldn't matter. I'm pretty sure we're good now. Right. Guys got like, fuck it, 7s or. Oh, it could be ace king or ace queen. I'm sorry. I was just spitballing. You wouldn't necessarily bet 7s there. Sucky table, sucky table. No way. Oh, hey, Max Stacks. Good to see you, man. Noticed you popped on and said hi. And if you notice that when you chat and I answer, there's a delay there, it's because I have a 4 or 5 minute delay on my stream, so just so people can't snipe me or whatever they call it. And I think it's better just because some people don't watch the chat live; they watch it on the stream itself. So it makes sense to only answer people in real time, right? Which would be 4 minutes from now when people are watching it. I mean, it's not really a big deal when we only have 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 people watching, but it will become a big deal one day when I have 100 people watching, right? If I tried to stagger that, it would get people, because I would be answering things that aren't even appearing in the chat yet. Probably a bad table. Probably a good table. Wow, that was a pretty insane first 30 minutes, right? We're like up 150 to 180 probably the session. So yeah, we're leaving this. Try this one. Sometimes the short-handed ones are the newer tables, and sometimes you can find some whales. I was just chatting with a friend of mine about how this is probably my best run good over a short stretch of hands since I've known him. It's definitely my best. I can't remember running this good over 4 or 5 hours, honestly. I mean, over a short period, maybe in a tournament, but in cash games, I can't remember. Can't remember ever running this good. I mean, I've won like 30 of my last 36 or 7 all-ins. Freaking sick, right? Oh, those are flips as well. The sick thing is the 5 of the 7 I've lost, I think I've had like 80% equity plus, so this could have been the sickest run in the history of cards, for me anyway. And we should enjoy this while it's going on because it might never happen again, right? We may never ever win this many all-ins in this short of a stretch of time or at all in 2 days. But we will enjoy this while we can. As I say this, we're going to run into jacks right here, watch. I don't care. Whatever. We've got 20% equity. Let's go. Let's get it. We're going to win it. It's going to be 10-10 jack flop with a sweat. Or you can just fold pre-flop. I'm going to keep mixing in new tables, though. This one looks good. Wow, this one looks... This one, not so much. Wow. 10x! The hell, did he just lose a big pot? I'm not putting in the queen 10. I think it's a little bit weak. But he didn't just lose a big pot. He's probably got like scared ace jack or something. Ace X or jacks or something like that. Tens, nines, eights. Eights probably is more likely. If I knew he had eights, I still can't shove there even though I'm flipping because I don't have any fold equity. I'm basically just putting my money in as a 2-to-1 dog or whatever. Not quite 2 to 1.8 to 1 or something. I don't know. I suck at math. You don't put your money in willingly as a dog without fold equity. I'm just gonna bet to protect my hand. This is a bet fold right here. My HUD. Wow. Check back and call non-spade rivers. Ugh. Gross, dude. Don't give me a duck. Okay, it's all about bet sizing here. If he, yeah. I mean, that's a really good size to be both value and bluffing. I was saying if he bets 7 or less, I can easily call this. 12 or overbet, it gets kind of challenging. Even though this is the sizing people will bet when they're bluffing. If he has ace X, he's probably not bluffing here. If he has 6X, 8X, Queen X, he's probably not bluffing here. So the only thing I'm beating here is 9-7. And it was 4-way or on the flop, right? So I'm just gonna have to give him credit here. I'm gonna fold 2 pair. If I get shown a bluff, good bluff, dude. That's all I can say. The deuce is kind of irrelevant there. I think I could have like king queen and it's basically the same hand as ace deuce almost. Except maybe he might pot. He could have had 2 pair and done that. I guess. I don't know. That's why it's kind of stinky when the 2 pair comes. Should I bet the turn there, you say? Nah, because I want him to bluff rivers, and since I can call any non-spade river no matter what rolls off, I'm going to be winning off all his potential bluffs. You know, the 83% of the time that a spade doesn't come, I'm going to be winning those bluffs. And I'm going to win this. I'm going to probably get value from like an 8 or a 6 those times too, or a 7 or whatever on the board. Yeah, I haven't really been following it. A friend of mine, NextX, asked about the cryptocurrency craze. I kind of effed up. There was a big NPR or there's some kind of big. Wasn't it the virus thing, right? The virus happened a couple weeks ago. And they were getting ransom from Bitcoin. So there was this big buzz about Bitcoin at that time. And I was like, man, people are going to be looking into Bitcoin and just even if 1.1% of those people invest in Bitcoin now, you're going to see a spike, right? I was like, damn, I'm going to put $3,000 on Bitcoin because what's the worst case? It loses a couple hundred. And I completely forgot about it. I was honestly going to do that. And then yesterday my friend says, oh, did you see Bitcoin, how it's doing? And I was like, I don't even want to look. Because I would have turned that 3,000 into like 6,800, right? So I think it's a little bit late in the game. I think there's going to be a bust on that. I think it's probably going to drop back down to around it's going to normalize out to about 1,500 soon, I think. So I'm not going to do it now. But that's pretty freaking frustrating. This guy's so aggro, I think I have to check this back. Could be trapping me. We're going to protect our hand. I would shove a lot of times, but this guy's 57-29 with 100% steal before it. Was it over one hand though? Yeah, I guess that didn't matter. I still think it's fine to check back and play a flop there. So, yeah, I'm still not going to really get into the cryptocurrency. I mean, I get like 10% of returns over the last few years on my personal investments anyway. So I'm not going to do something that's probably really volatile. I mean, Bitcoin did spike at like how many thousand? It's got 321, so I'm going to sit here for a revolution. And then it tanked back down to like nothing again, so I'm just not. I think it would be pretty smart though to like invest 100 a month into it or something, small amount. I'm not giving anybody any advice because I am not a financial advisor, just so you know. But I think I've actually thought about that, but I just don't have the extra capital every month to do that. So now I think I'm a little bit late in the game. I wish I had invested like 8,000 into it over the last 3 years. I'd have like 38,000 right now probably. This is just a call spot here. I think it's pretty difficult to get This is a spot over the last couple weeks that I've been running into an 8 or like ace jack here on the river or something, or jack 9. Okay, so maybe this guy calls a raise, maybe not. But I think he's going to have a lot of air there, so I think I'm fine with the way I played that. I think I maybe maximize there, because if I bet that flop like most people do, he probably just folds. So I got 2 streets by checking back. That's all you really can hope for on a board like that a lot of the time, I think. Whatever. Dudes. That's one of those spots where you just have to analyze the entire range, right, before you make a decision. And I think the safe route is probably going to show just as much long-term aggressive route. Yeah, I had like $3 in Bitcoin, and now it's $9. Yeah, I know, man. I wish I had known that. I don't know if it's worth millions, but there are people that had thousands of dollars in Bitcoin in 2010 that are worth millions now. Sure. There was one guy I heard a story about that he was in college or something, and just as a class project, he was doing his computer project on it or something. And he threw a couple thousand in there as a class project. I mean, he was obviously a wealthy kid. And then he had so much money that he kind of just forgot it was there. And like when Bitcoin spiked, whenever it capped, I don't know when that was, before it came back down. He literally had millions, and I think he already had millions before that though, so it wasn't as big of a deal. But it was an interesting story. I mean, yeah, I mean, who knew, right? I mean, it makes sense, and I think the safe bet would have been back then just to throw 1,000 into it. What could it hurt, right? You lose $1,000. I mean, I lose $1,000 in a day of poker or something, and just kind of forget about it. And I mean, it's just like investing in anything, though. You can invest $1,000 into a startup and make millions, right? So, I mean, if you bought $1,000 worth of stock in Apple in the '80s, look how much money you got, or Microsoft. And then again, you could just be one of those stories where it just fails and you lose your money, right? You lose it all. Yeah. Yep, you're right, Max Stacks. But people also lost millions when it tanked too, right? Because I don't know, what did it max out when it was going crazy a few years ago, and then it tanked again, down to almost nothing. People won and lost a lot of money at that time too. So I guess it just depends on. It's just like the stock market thing. Like, it'll probably keep running up because people will start putting money into it now. But then the stock market, like, something will happen where the stock market looks like it's going to be bullish, super bullish. Not that it isn't right now anyway. I mean, Trump gets impeached, something like that happens, and people want to throw their money back in the stock market. They're going to pull it out of Bitcoin, and then boom, tanks again. And maybe I just am not understanding how Bitcoin works. Trust me, I don't really know. But I'm assuming when people sell off for cash, how does that work? Is it just like the stock market where, I don't know, how does Bitcoin go down in value? People sell it off, but when they sell it off, isn't it purchased by somebody else? Bitcoin I don't know. Man, you know what I heard? There was a guy talking about it on the radio that said he has a computer science degree and is like a PhD in this and that, and he understands everything to do with computers and how technology works, and he still doesn't understand Bitcoin fully. So I'm okay with myself not understanding it, just being a complete layman when it comes to it. We've got about 15 minutes left here. Look at my Bitcoin real quick. I probably could just stick like 150 right now. It should probably be 75 next week. Yeah, I'm at 946, and it was $3 or less than $3 about 2 weeks ago. Because that's all I had left on it after I had moved money around. Yeah, when I had $3 in it, it was worth 926, and now it's worth. And I bet if you track it, the date it started going up was the date that story came out and that virus and stuff. Actually, that's 323. Maybe not. But you know what? There were predictions last year that this summer it would spike up, and there was a reason why it would spike up this summer. But you know what? Gold's also spiking up right now too. People are buying gold. It's just, I think when the stock market starts going bad, things like this will start doing better and better. And once the stock market does good again, this will probably do worse. So I think as long as Trump is in the White House, you might be wanting to invest in blockchain or not blockchain. That's a Bitcoin. That's where a marketplace for Bitcoin. Whatever you call it, I don't know what to call the shits. But anyway, yeah, it looks like a crazy bubble to me too. Honestly, man, you want my advice? Invest in a Roth. I mean, not real advice, but this is what prudent people would do. Just cap your Roth IRA every month. You're probably really young. If you start capping your Roth IRA when you at the minimum when you're 16 years old, assuming no major disasters happen between now and then and just complete dynamics of everything changes, I mean, you're going to be a millionaire by the time you're 45 anyway, right? So, thing that I learned, the fastest way to get rich quick is to get rich slowly. Warren Buffett say that? If you want to, if I would recommend a book on investing, because honestly, I didn't get into that kind of thing until I was in my mid to late 30s. I wish I had known this stuff when I was 15 years old. I wish they taught this in school. At least they didn't teach it in my school. No real world common sense money stuff. I mean, I took economics and they didn't teach me shit. My parents obviously didn't know anything about it because they weren't investors. They were working class. They worked their asses off their whole life. They didn't work taught that either. There really is no secret. Get the book Boggleheads, and I'm pretty sure that tells you all you need to know. That's in my opinion. And if you're deep in debt or something like that, Dave Ramsey, I don't think you can beat his methodology. I kind of used that a few years ago to pay off a ton of debt really quickly, and I'm debt free. Got the house payment. That's it. I guess I'm not technically debt free, but all I have is. But the housing market's kind of boomed, and I got like a ton of equity in my house now. Good time to own property if you've owned it before you bought it. And if you bought it in like 2011, it's a good time to own it. Actually, a lot of people in my neighborhood are selling right now, I think because they just waited out the crisis and everything. The houses in this neighborhood were built in like 2003. So their houses probably spiked sometime around 2007-8, and then they tanked and bottomed out in 2011-12, and now they're probably back above what their max prices were. Yeah, this is a vacuum fold, I think, in the cutoff button. I think I ship here, probably. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could see myself diversifying a little bit and start. If I had a lot of excess money, but I don't. Maybe I could stick like 10% of my poker earnings in there at some point if I ever have a significant poker in. Dude, if you're 22 and you need to, you don't need to, but you should. If you aren't investing already, look into a Roth IRA. What I've started doing like recently. I'm swear, dude, just cap it out. Pretend like that money. I think it's like 450 a month, right? Cap it for an individual. Right now, as it stands, it's gonna go up probably by your end. By the time you're my age or 50, 45, 50. I'm not that old. I'm 43, but by the time you're 50, it's probably gonna be like 800 to cap it. More, who knows, with inflation. But if you put, I mean, look at any calculator. Go and put in investment calculator and invest at 8%. Speak conservative, 6% over 30 years. Let's say when you're 52, and look how much money that's going to be compounded and everything. Believe me, even though I've read up on it a little bit, I'm still a complete novice when it comes. I just do what a lot of these books say, and I'm hoping it works out for us, right? Just don't pull your money in and out of places, right? Pick smart investments and stick with them, and just money every month and let it compound. I read an article where People that do kind of with volatility pull their money in and out. If you had missed the 30 best stock market days in the last 30 years or something, you would have had a return of like 1%. Whereas if you had left your money in and saw all 30 of those days, you now have like a long-term 18% over certain periods. I think that's about right since 1980, something like that. You guys don't have to correct me because I'm probably wrong. I'm just speaking relatively. I'm trying not to use exact numbers, but I am. So don't flame me. Or do it, I don't care. Whatever. Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm looking at the Bitcoin thing right now. 2,200 yesterday, and it's 2,400 right now. Bit like 10% or whatever, 5% in a day. Eh. Actually, it just dropped $20 like in 5 seconds. That's pretty damn volatile. I wouldn't be surprised if next week it's back at 1,000 again, so be careful. It's a little tricky. I think with the poster here, this guy's going to ISO pretty wide here. Like he's just going to make it $5 here on the small. He's going to think that this is a ton of, if he's a reg, which I might be, or if he's like a maniac, which he could be. I could see him pumping up to like $5 here. This guy too. Wow. Okay. Um. Hmm. I think it's certainly plus EV to just shove here. But I think it's also just as plus EV. I would rather call here and get call, raise than shove and blow this guy out of the pot with a jack or something. Oh. This guy could certainly have just like a king of diamonds or something. Not anymore. We're blocking a royal flush. We almost have a royal flush. It's just hard for this guy to have anything, so we're going to bet $2 here. We're going to see. Very curious. What do you think? Just like a weak jack, right? With maybe like a low diamond, or just a jack and he didn't want to fold. Okay, so he had an open ender and he had the 9 of diamonds on the flop. He had queen 9, so that makes sense. Okay, this guy's really aggro, so I'm gonna limp here with the queen. Ah! Ah! Apparently he had deuce 4. I wanted him at least think about it. This guy we can still shove if this guy. So probably, yeah, I guess vacuum we can just shove still. It could bite us in the ass. Like we can fold to a 3-bet, but we can't fold it. Yeah, I just looked at it, man. It is pretty unreal. I mean, it was kind of trending that way anyway when I was looking at it earlier this year. It doesn't surprise me. It wouldn't have surprised me if it was 500 right now, you know. Don't tell me all these assholes that are heads up right now are going to block us from getting. Come on. Get off the heads up table. Or go sit at a heads up table, rather. Wow, the 7-0 guy 4x's it under their gun. Um. Well, okay, I think we just fold here. And that seems really nitty, right? This is almost a vacuum. We have to at least call. I guess so. Oh, shit. I guess we just have to commit now. I actually think we can check call and I think he's gonna have queens here a lot, or king jack, or king queen. Also is gonna be. Why would he not c bet this board? I guess he could be just like a complete nit. Oh, almost accidentally folded there. I got a bad feeling about this. I think he could be trapping here. Like this, like could be. Why would he check back this board? Nobody checks back that board. Okay. See, that's like the bottom of his range. Why would he not bet that flop? I mean, from the mentality of most players, he's probably surprised to see what I had too. Get off this freaking table! I'm a biscuit eater. Get out of my way! Alright. Don't put me on that heads up. Man, I hate it when people just sit there waiting on a game. Because it's prioritizing now the shorter handed tables, and it's pretty ridiculous. They should prioritize the 2 or 3 handed games, not the heads up game. Oh well. So we got about 5 minutes left. I've been kind of quiet on the Eastern Front the last 30 minutes. After all hell broke loose in the first 30 minutes. That's pretty weird. Guy ever gonna give up? Be like AFK on the toilet or something? Probably the same guy just blocking both those tables. Pissing me. On this row. Apparently not. Get off! Okay, I give up. Got to wait it out. Max Stack says, anyway, man, I've been trying out your short stack strategy and it's been quite successful so far. Well, that's good. Where are you playing at? You may have mentioned this in the past. I just don't remember. And what size stack are you starting with? Is it 30 big blind, 20 big blind? I guess if you tell us the site, we'll know. Okay, but. Oh, did I just have 7, 8 there? Not that I'm going to play that, but. And this guy's 40, 53, 7. Dealing a lot. Have to at least flat. We're just repping just crap, right? Yeah, I guess if he has a 10, he's probably going to raise anyway. Yeah, so I guess he has like ace 9, jack 9. I wish we could have induced a raise. Could be really weak too. We'll see if we maximize there. He had bottom pair ace 7 on the flop, so yeah, I think we got the maximum. Maybe? 3-bet. 3-bet. This is such a good spot for him to bet. Calling is still good. 6, boom. So we're almost to an hour now. So probably just call this session, right? Games are kind of dying anyway. Seems like it. So yeah, that's 1 hour. So you guys now know what running good looks like for me. As rare as it's been. So it's good to savor this kind of moment. I think we won something like 7 of 8 all-ins, right? 7 of 8, and then a lot of small wins as well. I wouldn't be surprised we're up 8, 9 buy-ins this session. So a couple, I would guess 220 to 275 we're up this session. An hour. And I was up probably 400 less yesterday, 300 yesterday. Well, I had a bad session early, so maybe 2. I would imagine overall we're up like between $600 and $900 for the last 2 days. We will take it. Oh, so you are playing Ignition. Cool. Okay, well, cool. So what Max Stacks, what stakes are you playing? Because I agree, in an anonymous environment, my strategy is really tooting my own horn, is especially good in my opinion. Well, I'll keep chatting in chat here, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching again. Let's keep running it up. Let's keep this going, man. It's awesome. So everybody enjoy their weekend, and I'll definitely be. I think I'll be streaming tomorrow. Got my kid's graduation tomorrow, but I think that's done. I think I'm done with everything by 1 or 2 tomorrow, so I should be able to get to the stream by 3. If not, I'll stream a little bit late. So yeah, thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you later.